You might totally love Utah or not so much, depending on how you vibe with these 10 things.
So if you have been thinking about moving to Utah, then stick around until the end because we're going to be sharing the top things that both are awesome here and a bummer about living here in the Beehive State.
If this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything about living, eating, sleeping, working, and playing in northern Utah, then subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about the current market here in northern Utah.
We are Sloan and Kim Peterson here with the Peterson Group, and we get calls and emails every day from people just like you looking to buy, sell, invest, and relocate here to northern Utah. Whether you're looking to buy here in 90 days or 90 days, go ahead and give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. All our information is in that description box below, so we can help you make that smooth transition here to northern Utah.
Okay, so jumping right in, let's talk about some of the pros of calling Utah home. And the first is the job market. Utah's not just surviving, it's thriving. It's got one of the lowest unemployment rates in the country, sitting pretty at 2.8%. That's not just good, it's stellar compared to the national average. Industries like tech and finance are booming, especially in areas like Silicon Slopes, where big tech companies and startups alike are setting up shop. Healthcare and energy are also big players here, with some of the best hospital systems in the nation. So if you're looking for job stability and an exciting career opportunity, Utah's definitely got the goods. Right now, we do have a lot of friends in other states that are not able to find work, and that's really difficult. So if this is something that you're struggling with, you might want to check out some job opportunities here in Utah.
Obviously, another big pro of living in Utah is our proximity to our outdoor activities. If you're all about living where you can play hard, Utah's a dream. We've got some of the best ski resorts just a quick drive from Salt Lake City, like those in Park City or the nearby Cottonwood Canyons. And let's of course not forget the mighty 5 national parks here. From the towering arches to the stunning red rock landscapes, it's an outdoor enthusiast paradise, whether you're into skiing, hiking, or just soaking in the natural beauty. Utah's landscape offers a background adventure unlike any other state you're probably going to come into. And another thing to note is each season is going to be different and have a different backdrop of your favorite activities, so you can go to the exact same place every day and never really get sick of the landscape or bored with it because it is going to be changing all the time.
Yeah, since we do have those really crazy winters here and like really wet springs, the landscape and even the trails themselves are always changing. So it's really cool to go throughout the year and just see how different it is with each season.
Yeah, and a lot of people come here during the summer, so if you've only visited during the summer, you have to go hiking or just doing anything in the mountains during the fall time with all the beauty there.
For a lot of people, living in Utah is great because it's super family friendly. Utah is super welcoming for families with a ton of activities that cater to kids and parents alike. There's always something happening, from outdoor concerts at the Sandy Amphitheater to the wonders of the local aquarium. Plus, places like Thanksgiving Point host family-friendly events year-round, offering everything from dinosaur exhibits to beautiful gardens. And for a day of fun and learning, you can't beat the Salt Lake City Hogle Zoo. Up north in Ogden, we've got the Dinosaur Park and the Treehouse Museum, so there really is something fun for people of all ages. And honestly, it is really truly geared also towards adults because Sloan and I, we don't even have kids, but we will go to like the Dinosaur Museum or the aquarium because it's just really cool and a lot of great information.
Yeah, you can spend hours there, and I don't know, maybe I'm just a nerd or something, but I thought it was really cool when we went to the Dinosaur Museum. I thought it was going to be more geared to kids, just like little basic stuff, but there was a lot of good history and studying you could do there, so it was pretty cool. And we went in the winter time too, and they actually decorate the dinosaurs and lights and stuff, so that was pretty cool too. So one great aspect of living in Utah that might really surprise people is how diverse our food choices are here. If you love to eat, then you'll probably enjoy calling Utah your home. Now the food scene here might surprise you. It's diverse and delicious, with everything from top-notch sushi at Takashi and tone into authentic Mexican flavors at the Red Iguana. Whether you're in the mood for a fancy Italian night or just craving a gourmet chicken sandwich, Utah's restaurant scene punches way above its weight. Every city offers a ton of different options, and you could literally eat out every single day of the year and not get through all the amazing places that Utah has to offer.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite aspects of Utah, being a foodie, and we were actually out with some friends last night talking about it. And even though we've lived here specifically strictly in Utah for 15 years, there's still so many restaurants that we haven't even experienced yet, just because there's so many great places to eat here.
Yeah, I think I did a survey. I don't remember if what the exact number, but I swear there was like 13,000 restaurants just in Salt Lake. And someone had commented being like, no, I think that you're mistaking it's all of Utah. And I'm like, no, it was just in Salt Lake. And I went and double checked that fact, and it was actually accurate. So we have a ton of food choices. And the cool thing about it is we have a mix of local and chains, right? But we have more local, I think, food establishments than any other city that I've ever been to.
Another big reason people love Utah is our education system. Utah takes education very seriously, with a school system that's among the best in the nation. There are numerous high-quality universities, including the University of Utah, BYU, and Utah State. Public schools here are so advanced, they might just make you do a double take. Think state-of-the-art facilities that look more like college campuses. It's a place where education is both valued and prioritized, making it ideal for raising a family. There are also a wide variety of Montessori and private schools, so no matter what type of education you're looking for, we definitely have something for everyone here in Utah.
Okay, so now on to some things that might not be so great about living here in Utah. And the first one is going to be our traffic here. Like any other growing metro area, Salt Lake City has its share of traffic woes, especially on I-15 during our rush hour time. It can turn a simple drive into a lengthy ordeal, particularly during our peak times here. We've noticed in recent years that traffic has stretched from being mainly in Salt Lake City to now being all the way up north and down south. There's also a lot more traffic on Sundays here, and the stores are a lot more crowded no matter what time of day it is. We always find ourselves being in the store at like 11 a.m. being like, is everyone in real estate or self-employed? Because how is every single person here right now? And I think that a lot of people experience that in most states, but everywhere seems to be busy, and Utah is no exception to that. So those are definitely some things that you're gonna want to consider that come along with, major growth and development.
Okay, the next thing that can be tough to live here is our harsh winters. Now, we are lucky that here in Utah, on a good year, we do get 4 seasons. And of course, while we're talking about this, we are going through a strange winter, with La Nina making it warmer than usual, but this isn't typical. A typical Utah winter can last anywhere from late October, early November, to April, and even sometimes through May. And we've actually even had it snow in June and July here before. We do get heavy snowfall, and while that makes skiing and sledding and all the fun winter activities great, it's not necessarily fun to commute in, shovel off your driveways, or just day-to-day live in for a lot of people. So if you are coming from somewhere with mild winters, or somewhere like Florida or Southern California where it never snows, definitely consider the winter season if you're thinking about moving here.
So this one is one that might not affect everyone, or that a lot of people really consider, and that's going to be the public transportation limitations that we have here. While there's some public transportation, it's not as extensive or reliable as you might find in other larger metropolitan areas that are the same size as Salt Lake City. This can be a hassle if you're dependent on transit for your daily commute, or you prefer not to drive in general. Now, we do drive because obviously we're in real estate, so we have to, but there's definitely times we're going to a game or a concert or somewhere where public transportation would definitely be better for us, but it doesn't always run as late as you would need them to, and they can add on an extra couple hours to your commute.
Yeah, when we used to actually commute for work from Ogden to Salt Lake, if you would miss the front runner by like 5 minutes, because sometimes it runs early, and if you would miss it by like 5 minutes, you'd have to wait an additional hour, and they don't really have restaurants or anything like a coffee shop or anywhere, so if it's cold outside, you're like sitting out in the cold for the next hour waiting for the next train. So definitely not as convenient as a lot of other metropolitan cities. Okay, so this one we have mentioned a few times, and I think it's something worth noting simply because it can be really different for a lot of people. I grew up in Denver where there was a lot of cultural diversity, and I was never really one dominant culture or religion, and I think that can show up in ways we don't think of, like the availability of buying certain things like food or clothing, or even down to what movies are played in theaters. While Salt Lake City is becoming more diverse, it's not on the same level as larger cities like New York and Los Angeles, obviously. The influence of the LDS Church is significant, which has historically shaped the culture and demographic makeup of the area, so just something to consider if you are moving from another bigger city.
And lastly, we definitely have to talk about the cost of living, and living in Utah isn't cheap, especially when it comes to housing. Real estate prices prices have been climbing, making it challenging for our first-time homebuyers or really anyone that's looking to buy or invest in property. While it's not as expensive in places like California, the cost can still be a significant barrier, particularly if you're looking to live in major cities like Salt Lake. That being said, we are seeing a stabilization of the market like most of the country has experienced as well, and that's actually allowing buyers to enter into the market that maybe couldn't before. We only expect that to last a short time though, as Utah is still a major in-migration state. A lot of people are moving from other states into Utah because of the attractive living that we do have here. Each of these factors play into the overall vibe of Utah, making it a place with unique challenges and benefits depending on what you're looking for in your home base. Personally, we love calling Utah home, and if you ever had any questions about Utah and moving here, of course feel free to reach out, leave us a comment, and we love to hear from you, and we will respond to each and every one of you.
We hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Picking where you'll call home is an important decision, and we would love to help you make that smooth transition to Northern Utah. If you're looking to purchase in the Northern Utah area, we'd love to help you out. Give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and as always, we are keeping it real. Estate.